Hey you guys, this is Ocean. This is going to be my first impression of the This Might Hurt Tarot. And this is the extra card. I was thinking that, I'm gonna hold it while I'm just talking about what I will have in this video. So this is not a new deck, obviously. It's out for a few years now, but I was hesitant to get it because, I have the Lightseers Tarot, and that's my modern, I guess, deck. And I was like, why do I need it, do I not need it? But then came a Facebook group where it was on sale, and someone was selling their copy, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get that. And so here we are. It's in like it was like new, so nothing was pretty much used. But the cardstock, because I keep forgetting talking about the cardstock, it's a bit more thick than a Llewellyn deck, for example, but it's not impossible to shuffle it. It's a glossy finish, which I think this deck needs it. I really like the color theme or color graduation of the back. So the deck really needs it because there are vibrant, really good colors, or not good, but you know what I mean, if you know what I mean. The box is the typical liminal 11 box. Some people hate it, some people like it. I pretty much on the liking it side, because even though it's a bit more steps to get out of the deck from the box, you can just store it like this. So you can actually eliminate space with it, and it's always like really nicely designed. The inside is always decorated. It has a very strong magnetic closure, so there's no chance of me just picking it up and everything falling out. We have the Temperance, the Two of Swords, the Hangman, and the Strength on the box. And this is the inside with the Word, the Devil, the Death, and the Empress, with the guidebook as well. So I do like the box and the guidebook as well. I haven't had a lot of time to go through the guidebook yet. I will, because after a while I just sit down, or I take it with me and I read it. There's enough information. There's a color copy of the card, so if you want to study the deck but you don't want to carry the cards with you, these guidebooks are good for that. For the minors, there's no full illustration, but the card is still there, so I think it's still good for this one as well. There's enough text for the minors, so it's not just a few keywords that some guidebooks have. And then there's a sentence here that summarizes how the creators think about the card, because the Two of Cups is the long-term love card, and it's not necessarily how I read the Two of Cups. It's an equal relationship, but it's at the beginning of it, so it's more so the honeymoon phase of it. For me, the long term is either the Ten of Pentacles or the Lovers, if we're talking about love. But these are interesting, different, sometimes very different ways to look at certain cards, which I always appreciate. And then at the back, and sorry about the lighting, but it's a very moody, rainy day today here. Of course, yesterday when I didn't have time to film, it was sunshine and everything. But we have what we have. So we have some section about how to read the tarot, how to actually do a reading. So if you don't know how to even start, these are, I think, really good tips for beginners. There's a section about the reverse meaning, and then some typical like spreads, like 3-card spread, and there's the cycle of healing spread, which is interesting. And the word path to the word spread. I haven't had time to try these out, but I will definitely do that. And what I appreciate is the bibliography and the recommended resources. I'm sure it's apostyle, because what else it would be? Just I have my thesis to write, and that style is gonna haunt me forever. But looking at it, it looks like the APA, or I don't know how you say that in English, style. We're just calling it APA because it's the word for father, so it's kind of funny that we have a style, and we have to use the file of the father to style our bibliography at the end of papers. But you know, you can just go ahead and read. And also something that I really appreciate, because a lot of artists don't like to talk about these things, but because, you know, maybe they don't think it's important or interesting, or maybe they think that people are gonna say that, oh, they are just stealing from other artists. But you know, art doesn't work like that. But we have a section on the decks that the creator got inspired from, and obviously the rider weight is, you know, like a basic one. The Sasarai Vito, which I'm I think I still gonna get it. I just never getting around it. Marigold Tarot is also something that I want. And the Ostara Tarot, which I don't have it anymore, but I like that a lot, certain cards. And maybe if I knew sooner that I might gonna end up joining a new kind of passion about tarot, I would have kept that deck, but alas, I don't have it anymore. So I think the guidebook is excellent. This deck is good for beginners if you like the art style. Now, I want to talk about a few cards, and only a few, because, you know, there's not a lot that I don't like, because if there's gonna be a lot of cards I don't like, why do I have the deck, right? But there were some that I was like, nah, I don't really feel like it. One of them is the Devil, because the Devil for me is more, you know, it's temptation, and I understand the this is not the temptation, is the flat out obsession and the chains and the things you do to yourself, the destruction that this card can carry if you give in to temptation. But, you know, I would have appreciated something that would tempt me into joining the party. It's the more traditional way of approaching the Devil, and I'm not saying it's a bad one, it's just that for me it doesn't work that well. Nine of Wands is a good one, just personal beef, no fountain pen. I'm sorry, but this is why you're not getting from 1 to B, like, or 1 to 2, or, you know, not making any progress because you're not using a fountain pen. And the Judgment. I appreciate the different mythology and religion, but Anubis, you know, this scale was pretty much impossible to achieve. You cannot put someone's whole life next to a feather, and it's not gonna be lighter. So we all end up in the, you know, like suffering, whatever, underworld. I can't remember the rest. I just know that this is not fair, because it's a standard you cannot achieve, and that's why I don't like it on the Judgment card, because the Judgment card is, at least for me, you know, not the deck. I'm not saying the deck is bad, just for me it doesn't read well, because how I read Judgment is you can look at what you did, the good, the bad, everything, accept it, incorporate it, and learn from it and move forward. That's where you reach the word afterwards. But if you set yourself up with impossible standards, then you're never gonna be able to accept the things you did. That's my issue with the card. I will be able to just ignore it, but, you know. And some cards, this was just an example, I think incorporates the traditional a little too much, because we have a modern scene. Someone is going out for a hike, but why would you leave cuffs like this, you know, on the ground? You wouldn't. It's very dangerous and it's not good for the environment. And this is a very modern deck. So I would have loved if something like the Eight of Cups had a little bit more of a twist on the original artwork. But then again, not the artist you know, issue. It's just my thing. But pretty much that's the only thing that, you know, this is why I don't think it's gonna be my favorite deck ever. I have Smoke, Ash and Ember, so sorry, but no other deck is ever gonna be that favorite. And plus I have my own decks. But that was just a little bit of a, not complaining, just, you know, some things that I noticed. First impression, we will see how it's gonna change, if it changes when I work with it properly. But let's talk about a few. I tried to only pick a few of favorites, but it was hard because there's a lot. Chariot, I really like how badass this Chariot is. Also, the strength that she's commanding, the two bikes, even if they are just standing right now, you know, you can feel the power from it. It's like, I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to go, and I really like it in the Chariot. Because the Chariot usually is a very passive looking card, but even though the bikes are standing, you can just feel like that, you know, it's the moment before the storm kind of feeling, at least for me. I like the Temperance. I just wanted to show that this angel is so, I don't know, I'm not all for the fluffy, we're here to help you angels, I don't know, I never managed to contact one, I guess that's why. But I really like how this card looks. It's so serene, it's peaceful, it's everything that I want in an angel-y, that type of feathery angel-y card. The Empress, I like her sassiness. She's kind of like, yep, what do you mean? I have better things to do than just talk to you. Kind of attitude, at least that's what I see on her face, in her eyes, and I really like that. And that Two of Cups, I know what the description says, but it's just so cute. I don't know, I just liked it. It has that intimate, good feeling of love. But I don't know, why is the lion? It's like, what? Surprised. Nine of Cups, also, this is when you're just so content to be where you are, what you're doing, that you don't care about the outside world. You're just doing your own thing and it makes you happy. And I like that flow, you know, in the flow, in the zone feeling of the card. Again, Six of Cups. It actually really looks like those childhood moments when you were doing something with your siblings, or, you know, maybe your friends. And I just love that, you know, you can when you were a child, you were able to create that tiny world where everything was fine, it was exciting, it was full of adventure, no matter where you lived or you know what you did. Seven of Cups. I like the fact that she's like, oh, I have no idea. That we can see the face of the confusion of the what am I supposed to do expression on the face, because usually, you know, we're looking at what the person in the card is looking at, but we can get both in this one, and I think that's a very good one for this one. High Priestess. I have to love the High Priestess in every deck, because if I don't like the deck. It's just that simple. High Priestess is my card. It's the one that I check. If I don't like the High Priestess, that's an issue. And the Queen of Cups. I don't know, I just love the way that she just seems happy. I think that's all with this one. So yeah, these were just a few, because like I said, there are quite a lot that I like. Let me show you how thick the deck is. I mean, I have tiny hands, but you know, it's, I think a normal deck is pretty much like this, or maybe a bit like this. Yeah, I would say a normal, not regular, I don't know, other decks are pretty much this thickness. It's a bit more thicker, but still not, you know, impossible, especially now that I have nails to hold. It's shuffled as well. I'm not gonna shuffle it. And let's get, as a closing of a few decks, where to put it? Okay, no. Let's put it more on the light side of things. Some pairings that I was thinking about trying with it, and these are, you know, just ideas that I had in mind. Obviously I will, you know, try them on. Should I put it more in the middle? I mean, I'm supposed to be good still with space, but okay, let's not worry about that. So because both are, you know, colorful, yeah, judgment for swords. Can you sleep when you feel like you're being judged? Oh, the Empress and the Knight of Swords. So visually, I think they can pair well. I don't want to go into interpreting the cards too much because then we're gonna sit here forever. So just more so about the visual part of it. There's a lot of orange and yellow here, and there's some orange and yellow here, and it kind of feels like this card, the Knight of Swords energy, is going into the Empress one. So if you know, manage to take that energy, you can end up in the Empress. Ace of Swords with the Five of Cups is always welcome. You can get over, YouTube needs to get over illustrations. Four of Cups and the World. You might not be able to close a cycle because you're not realizing that there are more options out there than you have. Again, the gradient here as well. Six of Swords and Nine of Pentacles. So that's, I think, gonna play well together. Four of Pentacles and Nine of Cups. That's interesting as well. Who do you give your energy and time to? Is it an actual person you should, or is it just a fling? Stuff like that. Oh yeah, and that was the Inked Tarot. Forgot to say. The next one is the Tarot of Mystical Moments, which is also a modern collage deck. Okay, it's not you know, like a drawing, but I think the color-wise are again similar. That Four of Cups. Very interesting. The Four of Cups. We're not able to closing or transforming things because we're not noticing anything. Five of Pentacles and the Hangman, like, honestly. And it's kind of interesting the way that, you know, they are not looking at each other, but they could be looking at each other. The Star with the Eight of Cups. You have to believe that things are gonna get better, even if you leave something you think was the best one so far. Seven of Wands with the Page of Swords. Isn't it like this person is looking at this one like, oh, they can do that with the bars? But yeah, how to get out of those self-built walls. Oh, interesting. The Three of Cups and the Hanged Man. Maybe your friendships are keeping you at place and not allowing you to grow. The Star, Ten of Cups. You have to believe that there is love out there. And if you believe it, it's gonna happen. Two of Wands, Four of Pentacles. All the roundness, you know, it's together, it's Six of Pentacles. Okay, and lastly, the Five of Swords with the Page of Wands. And the red, both are wearing orangey, but you know, like reddish colors. And you have to check on why are you acting selfishly. What is it you want to start doing? What is it that you're trying to keep to yourself? So yeah, I think these are gonna work as well. I think they look nice on the table next to each other. More so on the springy sides of things, so they might come out to play during a spring month. But you know, sometimes I just pick a deck because I miss that particular season when we're in another one, so we will see. And three oracle decks. One is the Crystals, the Stone deck, which is a very funny, sassy deck, so it could match. We have the Two of Swords with Ruby, and you know, Two of Swords, who needs it? Anyone with something worth fighting for for any Aries. Okay, I'm not reading it, but you can take whatever you want from the cards. Oh, Three of Swords. It's interesting that we are giving us one. Explore your hidden depths. You know, pain could reside in the realms that you're not really facing. Let's do this one. Peridot, magnetize your motivation, and kind of like green for the fish. Interesting. So I'm not sure how this is gonna work. These are, I think, are gonna be, you know, more so on the, you need to sit down and think about, turn on your electric light. So you need to sit down and think about it. It's not on the fly, it works immediately, but the white background as well works. So we will see, but I'm curious about this pairing because it kind of feels like I'm gonna that they're gonna be a good match, but maybe just in my head. So, you know, we will see. The next one is the Botanical Inspiration, which isn't the same style, but I think the keywords could work well with a deck like this. We have the Queen of Wands, Choices, Knowledge and Illumination. Choices, Knowledge and Illumination. Well, a Queen of Wands with the fire is illuminate for sure. Oh, we have the King of Wands, even though it was shuffled. With graciousness and benevolence, which is a good one for, you know, a king. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. So, you know, when you're in the king energy and you need to take care of other people, you need to show that you care. You need to stay kind, which is a good one. Okay, let's get Five of Pentacles with Enlightenment. No mud, no lotus. Yeah, when you're going through a difficult time, you have to remind yourself that you can choose to look at the things, that these are for your evolvement. Not evolvement, what was the word that I wanted to say? Leveling up. Let's go with the leveling up. Because, you know, it's hard to go through a Five of Pentacles moment. But if you can just find yourself believing it, that it's because something better is waiting for you, because you need to learn something, that can help. Not always, but it can. Seven of Wands with thankfulness for understanding. Before we can forgive one another, we have to understand one another. And yeah, with the Seven of Wands, you know, you have to understand why other people are coming after you. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Nine of Pentacles, youthful love. Interesting. With the Nine of Pentacles, when you're independent. So yeah, I think they are matching well. Ten of Pentacles, which is legacy, strength of character and moral integrity. What are you leaving behind? So yeah, I like this one already. This is the Botanical Inspiration. And the last one is a deck that I cannot use currently because it's part of my yearly reading, so not all cards are here, which was a mistake on my part because I love this deck, and even though I love seeing a card every month from the deck, there were more than one occasion when I was like, I want to play with this deck, but I can't. But this is the Star Codes or Astro Oracle, by the way. And look at that, Aquarius. Collaborate with Seven of Pentacles. Maybe you can, you know, like grow things better if you play with other people. So, I mean, do they like each other? Do they like each other? The Strength with Leo. I mean, this is perfect. Ace of Wands with Saturn and structure. because with ones we like to just, you know, like go with the flow, and that's usually what the card says, like try out all the creative passion that you have in mind, because who knows where it's gonna lead. But with Saturn next to it, it's like, okay, try whatever, but put some, you know, structure in place, because that's gonna help you. And oh, we're in Scorpio season. Investigate the Fool. Huh. So you shouldn't, and you know, colors matching, you shouldn't just go ahead and do whatever, because the Fool is the do whatever. Maybe look more into things a bit better. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here with the King of Cups and Venus Beloved, because this matches well as well. I love this deck. I mean, if I could, because this was done by a tattoo artist, I would love to get a tattoo with something like, you know, this style. Oh, it would be wonderful. And I wish that the person who did this deck would create a tarot deck as well. That's my wish. But yeah, they look nice next to each other. So yeah, this is, I know, like I said, not a new deck, but hopefully it was new for some of you, or you haven't thought about it for a long while and you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna play with it for a while because I saw it recently, because that happens to me. So maybe it's gonna be helpful that way. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. And as always, even though I said it in the last minute, there's just a flip through of the deck posted as well. If you want to see the cards, you can separately. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!